الله وكفى وسلام على عباده الذين اصطفى أما بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم وإذا وقع القول عليهم أخرجنا لهم دابة من الأرض تكلمهم أن الناس كانوا بآياتنا لا يوقنون ويوم نحشر من كل أمة فوجا ممن يكذب بآياتنا فهم يوزعون حتى إذا جاءوا قال أكذبتم بآياتي ولم تحيطوا بها علما أم ماذا كنتم تعملون ووقع القول عليهم بما ظلموا فهم لا ينطقون ألم يروا أنا جعلنا الليل ليسكنوا فيه والنهار مبصرا إن في ذلك لآيات لقوم يؤمنون صدق الله العظيم وبلغنا رسوله النبي الكريم ونحن على ذلك من الشاهدين والشاكرين والحمد لله رب العالمين. This is the very last part of the Surah Naml, in which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is mentioning the happenings of the Day of Judgment. One of the 10 major signs which will come towards the very end of the world is the coming out of an animal which will not be born, rather come out of the earth. The ulama have written that it will come out from Mount Safa and reach people in Masjid al-Haram, and everyone will be scared and they will run away from it. Only a certain group of people will remain, and such people, the animal will make their faces shiny. And then this animal, which is called Dabbatul Ard, which is one of the last signs of Qiyamah, the last signs of the Day of Judgment and the end of the world, it will spread across the world and no one will be able to run away. And this animal will talk to people. Some ulama have said that it will talk to people like human beings talk to each other, and some ulama have said that this is what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has told us, that this is what it will say to people. أَنَّ النَّاسَ كَانُوا بِآيَاتِنَا لَا يُقِنُونَ, that you did not, the infidels, the human beings, the disbelievers, they did not believe in our signs. So this animal will mark everybody's state of Iman. It will write on their foreheads either this person is a believer or a disbeliever, and that will be the end of it. Nobody can bring faith. The responsibilities and the commands of Shariat will be lifted, and it will be the very end of the world. So the ulama have said, there's different narrations about this. The Prophet ﷺ is reported to have said in one hadith that the sun will start rising from the west instead of the east, and as soon as the first day that the sun rises from the west, this Dabbatul Ard will come, and that will be the last day. And some ulama have said that it will happen some days before the actual end of the world. Anyhow, this is what we've been told in the Quran, that it will be a unique animal, it will not be born, it will come out of the earth, and it will mark people's state of Iman. Whoever it marks as mu'min, they will be believers. Whoever it marks as a kafir, they will be kafir forever, disbelievers forever. The opportunity to bring faith afterwards will be gone. وَيَوْمَ نَحْشُرُ مِنْ كُلِّ أُمَّةٍ فَوْجًا مِمَّنْ يُكَذِّبُ بِآيَاتِنَا فَهُمْ يُوزَعُونَ. The first ayah that we read, translation would be وَإِذَا وَقَعَ الْقَوْلُ عَلَيْهِمْ أَخْرَجْنَا لَهُمْ دَابَّةً مِنَ الْأَرْضِ. When the word will come to fall upon them, we will bring forth for them dabbatan min al-ard, a beast from the earth, tukallimuhum, who will speak to them, anna an-nasa kanu bi ayatina la yuqinun, that the human beings did not believe in our signs. wa yawma nahshuru min kulli ummatin fawjan mimman yukazzibu bi ayatina fahum yuzaun. And remember the day when we will gather from every nation a host of those who used to reject our verses. فَهُمْ يُوزَعُونَ, and they will be kept under control. So from every group of people, the disbelievers will be gathered and they will be pushed towards their abode. And there will be groups upon groups of such people, and they will be disciplined. فَهُمْ يُوزَعُونَ, we have mentioned this before, that this is when there is a large group moving, which is such a big group that the front part of it has no news about, no sense of what's going on in the last part. So the front part has to be stopped, and so that the rear part could come and join them. So this is to mention and to explain the great size of that group of people. So there will be a lot of disbelievers. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect us and never make us among them. حَتَّى إِذَا جَاءُوا قَالَ أَكَذَّبْتُمْ بِآيَاتِي, until they reach their point where they will see Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and Allah will say to them, أَكَذَّبْتُمْ بِآيَاتِي, did you reject my signs? Did you reject my verses? وَلَمْ تُحِيطُوا بِهَا عِلْمًا, and you did not even try to comprehend them with knowledge. So one thing is to reject, and one thing is to not even try to understand and give it a chance and let it speak to you, and reject without paying any heed. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala would say that you rejected my signs and did not even care to pay heed to it, that what it is saying. أَمَّا ذَا كُنْتُمْ تَعْمَلُونَ, or what was it that you used to do. وَوَقَعَ الْقَوْلُ عَلَيْهِمْ بِمَا ظَلَمُوا فَهُمْ لَا يَنْطِقُونَ, and the word will come to fall on them because of their transgression. فَهُمْ لَا يَنْطِقُونَ, so they will not be able to speak. Thus Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will complete His word on them, and they will not even be able to make any excuses or give any answers. أَلَمْ يَرَوْا أَنَّا جَعَلْنَا اللَّيْلَ لِيَسْكُنُوا فِيهِ وَالنَّهَارَ مُبْصِرًا. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is further giving a sign for us to know now. Did they not see that we made the night so that they may have rest in it? وَالنَّهَارَ مُبْصِرًا, and we made the day to make them see. إِنَّ فِي ذَلِكَ لَآيَاتٍ لِقَوْمٍ يُؤْمِنُونَ, and surely in this there are signs for a people who believe. So the mention of night and the day is that night time is for sleeping, and sleeping is that time when the relationship of the spirit, the soul with the body becomes very weak. When a human being goes to sleep, their spirit flies away, and when they wake up, the spirit comes back. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala puts it back. So every night we are seeing that we in a way die and we wake up again. So why is it that we have a hard time believing that there will be death and disconnect between the ruh and the body? وَيَوْمَ يُنْفَخُ فِي الصُّورِ فَفَزِعَ مَنْ فِي السَّمَاوَاتِ وَمَنْ فِي الْأَرْضِ إِلَّا مَنْ شَاءَ اللَّهُ. And remember the day when the sur, the horn, will be blown into. So all those in the heavens and the earth will be in panic, except those whom Allah wills. And those people, this panic is the nafhatul ula, the first blow, which will shatter everything, non-living things, and all living things, they will die. And only the believers, they will not be in this panic, because they would have been, their souls would have been taken away beautifully and peacefully and calmly before that state happens. Another meaning to illa man sha Allah is that some angels, Israfil alayhi salam and others, they will survive for some time and then will die at a later stage by the will of Allah. وَكُلٌّ أَتَوْهُ دَاخِرِينَ, and all of them will come to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala dakhirin, humiliated in humility. وَتَرَى الْجِبَالَ تَحْسَبُهَا جَامِدَةً وَهِيَ تَمُرُّ مَرَّ السَّحَابِ, and you see the mountains at present supposing them as fixed forever, but on that day وَهِيَ تَمُرُّ مَرَّ السَّحَابِ, they will fly like the flight of clouds. صُنْعَ اللَّهِ الَّذِي أَتْقَنَ كُلَّ شَيْءٍ, an act of Allah who has perfected everything. So Allah who has made everything perfect, He has made them in such a way that as long as He intends for the world to last, they are there as a sign of stability. And then on that day when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will decide, they will start flying like clouds. إِنَّهُ خَبِيرٌ بِمَا تَفْعَلُونَ, such is Allah, and that Allah is all aware of what you do. مَنْ جَاءَ بِالْحَسَنَةِ فَلَهُ خَيْرٌ مِّنْهَا وَهُمْ مِنْ فَزَعٍ يَوْمَئِذٍ آمِنُونَ, whoever will come on that day with good deed will have a reward better than that. وَهُمْ مِنْ فَزَعٍ يَوْمَئِذٍ آمِنُونَ, and such people will be immune on that day from any panic. So our currency and our only hope in the day of judgment from safeguarding ourselves from the horrors of that day is our good deeds. Whoever brings good deeds, Allah is saying we'll give them something better. What is that something better? That reward from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. When we do something, it is us who are the doers. When Allah rewards, it is the Allah who's rewarding, and the act of Allah is always better and higher. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will, not in comparison to our hasanat, our good deeds, but from His own grace, Allah will grant peace and security and good reward for those good deeds. وَمَنْ جَاءَ بِالسَّيِّئَةِ, and whoever comes with bad deeds, فَكُبَّتْ وُجُوهُهُمْ فِي النَّارِ, the faces of such people will be thrown down into the fire. هَلْ تُجْزَوْنَ إِلَّا مَا كُنْتُمْ تَعْمَلُونَ, you will not be recompensed except for what you used to do. There will be no injustice on that day, and may Allah protect us. Those people whose bad deeds are more than their good deeds, they will be thrown headlong into the fire. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect us. ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم وتب علينا إنك أنت التواب الرحيم. اللهم اجعلنا من أهل القرآن الذين هم أهلك وخاصتك. اللهم إنا نسألك الجنة وما قرب إليها من قول وعمل. اللهم إنا نسألك رضاك والجنة ونعوذ بك من سخطك ومن النار. وصلى الله تعالى على خير خلقه سيدنا ومولانا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. آمين برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين.